So I'm Jane Wheeler of JaneJaney Designs, and I've been working on the interior design for Soho Theatre Walthamstow.
Yeah, okay. And can you tell me about some of the challenges that you've encountered in making this wonderful space work?
Quite a lot of challenges. It's a huge project, and there have been lots of people involved, the Council, Historic England, Theatres Trust, and Soho Theatre as well, obviously. And this building is very, very important to lots of people locally. It felt like we had a big responsibility to do it proud, because it's a beautiful space. So that in itself was a challenge, and it had been neglected for many, many years, and there was a huge local campaign to bring it back to a theatre space. We encountered all sorts of things that we didn't imagine, as you can think about if you're going to take on a space like this. You'll knock down a wall and you'll find asbestos. You'll start to repair a ceiling and it will start to fall down. So structurally there were lots of things. They were big challenges, but we were really fortunate to be able to work with all sorts of experts, plaster experts, painting experts, to bring the building back to life. And then
I was going to say, the colour schemes and the furnishing and everything, where did you get your inspiration for that, and how does it all fit together?
The inspiration came first of all from the building. It's the original designer, his name is Theodore Komosojewski, and he created a fantastic space which was about celebration and bringing entertainment to the masses, and so we already had a really brilliant base to start with. And a lot of those colours, we wanted to use those, but also we had Soho Theatre as a brand, as an entity as well. So we had these two things. So started off by looking at where the common ground was between these two characters, really, and a lot of that came with colour. Also in the auditorium, on the conservation, we went down what's known as an arrested decay conservation method, which is where you sand back the original flaking paint, and then you seal it in, and that aesthetic felt like it fit with Soho Theatre. If you've been to the Soho Theatre bar in Dean Street, that's got lots of posters which are layered up on top of each other. So it felt like, and Soho Theatre has quite a sort of punky, rebellious vibe. So it felt like with the colours and with that, there was a very strong starting point. And so it started to emerge from there. That was the concept.
So you've got greens, you've got purples, reds, yellows.
There was also a lot of paint analysis that was done in conjunction with Historic England. So they took layers of paint samples and then looked at them underneath the microscope, and then found out what the original colours were. And then we take that, and then some of the things we wouldn't want to or couldn't replicate. So, for example, in the foyer, that was a sort of marble effect, pink marble effect. So, we chose to have a really lovely pink, which resonates with modern people. So, always choosing those sort of middle ground between the heritage and something which is relevant for Soho Theatre and for people today as well.
Because all the public spaces feel very modern, and then of course when you go into the auditorium you get this wow factor of the past, don't you? But it feels tied together. And it was thought through very carefully. There were lots of obviously modern interventions. We had
we were putting in new bars, for example, and we wanted all of them to relate to the building. So you might have a really beautiful, in this space where now the cigarette bar, incredible ceiling, beautiful mouldings, and so we would take elements of the building and put that into the bar and put the colours into the bar, but then perhaps choose modern materials that are sustainable. And maybe choose something which is very slightly different. So a terrazzo that might have a slight modern edge, but also a slightly classical feel as well. So it was always looking for the materials and those choices which were sort of between the heritage and modern sensibilities.
So how much in the auditorium is all original and how much is reproduction?
So the shell is original. There were interventions that had to happen at a structural level. So originally it was a very, very large space, like 2,700 seater, and it was all flat, so built as a cinema. So we had to put a rake in, which is quite a big intervention. But now, I mean, it's really important because now all the sightlines are really wonderful. But there were other things that obviously had to go in, acoustics, technical equipment, fly tower. We extended the stage out. So all of those kind of modern interventions. The seats had to change. We're now down to just under 1,000 seater, and that means that we're able to offer really great leg room. It's essentially a very comfortable experience, and things like carpets. But in all of everything that we chose with the design, we chose trying to make sure that the interventions. So, for example, the pattern of the carpet is taken from the mouldings which are on the wall, and then we've used colours which complement everything. So we've always made sure where we've added things, we've done it in a respectful and sympathetic style.
And were you responsible for the lighting of the space? I mean, not the stage, but the actual lighting of the space as well?
So the lighting were done by lighting designers. So I would work to kind of give an overall idea, and then they would come back and respond to that.
So your vision and
and similarly with the seats, we worked with all sorts of wonderful experts, and we worked with really brilliant seat designers, and spent a long time looking at the incline. If you're at a cinema, you're very far back. If you're a new theatre, an old theatre, you're very upright. What's the right incline? What feels? What's the comfort level you want? So we were really lucky to work with experts on all sorts of things.
And did you have testers in testing the furniture and that kind of thing
for the auditorium seats? We had samples made. We had lots of samples made, and we spent a long time, with different colours. And, we spent a lot of time with them in the office. And then when other people would come in asking their opinion, so we had a lot of samples of things made up.
And what's your favourite part of the building? Have you got a favourite, or is it all your baby?
The auditorium is amazing. It's really amazing, and it's so unexpected. You're out on the street in Walthamstow, and it's such a surprise. So that has that incredible excitement when you go in there, and it's quite awe-inspiring. So that's amazing. But I think actually more it's been the thing that I've loved is working on somebody else's design, but a design that was from years ago. It's been an amazing privilege working with this building. This whole building is so beautiful, and to feel that I've had the chance to do that is just an incredible thing. So it's been that's been my favourite.
I'm very proud of it. It's exceptional. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you.